Test, 1, 2, 3. Hi everybody, coming to you live here. Just want to do a quick class on some grammar here, and everything got a little bit out of order. But anyway, so today we're going to talk about irregular verbs, and just let you know, this class is one of many classes, but the focus of these classes is mostly conversation, but there are multiple things that that is focused on, such as grammar, vocabulary, listening, pronunciation, reading, and writing. And one of the best courses that's done is through Interchange, and the primary focus is conversation, and it's a really good class. Same thing here. And so passages as well. Once you get through with Interchange, passages is another good course that we offer. Now, without further ado, we're going to get to the irregular verbs. Okay, welcome to the class, and what we're going to talk about is irregular verb conjugation. Now, there's two purposes for this. One is to make sure that you know irregular verbs. So I put in some important irregular verbs that you'll use periodically. So one of the things that I do when I study another language is I learn the irregular verbs first, because usually they're the most common verbs. Like, for example, I am, you are, he is. So that's an irregular verb. And if you notice in Portuguese too, a lot of the most common, or your language, most languages, I'm not sure about every language, but most Western languages, the irregular verbs are usually the common verbs, and most languages have irregular verbs. And I think it's because they didn't want to change everybody's language drastically, so they just kept the verbs the way people pronounce them. I imagine. That's my theory. So anyway, if there's an etymologist out there, correct me on this. So the other objective is to, well, first is to know it. The other objective is pronunciation. So I'm going to teach you how to pronounce the verbs correctly, and I'm not going to focus a lot on the meanings of the words, because they could have multiple meanings. But if there's a word you're not familiar with, let me know. And plus, there's a lot of them. There's over 100, so I don't want to make this video tremendously long. So you could go through these verbs and kind of memorize them, practice the pronunciation, and you know, if you have a question, we'll talk about it in class. So let's get started here. So the first group that we're going to talk about are the past tense and the present tense are different, and also the present tense and the past participle are different. But the past participle and past tense and past participle are the same. All right, so let's get going here. So bend, bent, and bent. So Superman can bend steel. He bent the pole when he hit it with the car. And you can see that the framework for this structure here is bent in the background. So bleed, sometimes we bleed when we cut ourselves. The person in the hospital bled, and the doctor had to put a bandage on them. And so most people have bled before. So bring me some coffee. I'm not sure why I have this picture in here, but I brought my book to school, and I have brought books. I forgot why I put that picture in there. It was a long time ago. So we have some architecture stuff here, but build some apartment buildings. We built a neighborhood. So these guys have built a neighborhood. Well, actually they have designed, but the neighborhood was built. She buys clothing every week. She bought a black sweater, it looks like, and she hasn't bought anything at this place before. Catch some fish. So this is a good way to relax. So you catch fish with the fishing rod or fishing pole. It depends on where you're from. And we caught some fish yesterday, but today we haven't caught anything since we arrived. People make a deal by handshake. We dealt with a couple of problems yesterday. We have dealt with several problems today. Dig a hole. He dug a hole with the bulldozer. He has dug several holes today. Feed the little girl. She tried to feed the little girl, but she looked like she didn't want to eat, so she didn't want to eat. We fed the cows. We have fed the cow every day this week. I feel my face, or she is feeling her face, or she feels her face. The person felt the braille with his finger, and it looked like the person on the left has felt pretty happy today. Or, that's a weird picture. Anyway, fight. So the girls fight with pillows every night. The reindeer, or caribou, I'm not sure. I think that's probably caribou, I think. The caribou fought for mating rights, and the penguins have fought every day this week. Find. So the children are playing seek and find, but that's not really a verb tense. That's not a verb. So let's go find the person in the closet. Or they found her in the closet. We have found our way every day this week using a compass. Grind the coffee. He ground the coffee with the grinder, and he has ground a steel plate with his grinder. We have some eggs. We have some eggs for dinner. We had some eggs yesterday. We have had eggs every morning. Here, I can hear the music. I heard him yesterday. I have heard this radio show 3 times this week. Hold on to my hand. He held on to his hand. He has held on to his hand several times today. Keep a secret. She kept the book in the library. She has not kept secrets very well. Lay on the grass. They like to lay on the grass. They laid on the grass after playing soccer. They have laid down several times today. Lead. So lead the people down the road. She led the cameraman to the mountains. He has led her boyfriend through the forest. Leave. After you arrive, leave the taxi. She left the door open, or she left the house. She has left the door open. Lend. Lend me some money. He lent me some money. The bank has lent me $1,000. Lose. Lose some money. Lose. So, if it's spelt with 2 O's, it's loose. If it's spelt with 1 O, it's lose, like a Z sound. So don't lose your money. He was lost in the woods. Well, that's past our... He lost his watch. He lost his watch while on vacation. He was lost in the woods. He has lost his direction 3 times a day. Make me some breakfast. We made lunch while camping. We have made a new tool every day this week. What do you mean? She meant to say something else. They are meant to be together. Meet. Let's meet in the conference room. We met yesterday. We have met each other before, right? Pay. Pay for your service. We paid yesterday. We have paid 3 times for the same product already. Say. If you say so, I will trust you. She said she was a doctor. She has said that before, and she will say it again. Sell. Sell your house when the prices are high. We sold our house on the market. We have sold 3. We have only sold 3 lunches today. Send me your money. Wishful thinking, right? Send me your money. I sent a package yesterday. The package has been sent, so it should arrive soon. Shave my beard. Actually, I had this done yesterday. I shaved my beard. You know, I don't look so shaggy today. So you should shave every day. But I shaved yesterday, but not today. I have shaved only twice this week. Shine. So we should all shine with good works. We should not hide our talents and let them shine. Our talent, you know, we the light shone. Trying to think, the lighthouse was shown yesterday, and sit in the chair. She sat to the right and he sat to the left. They were sat. Now they have sat in the same order before. Stand. We stand together for our mission. I stood in the same place all day yesterday. I have stood here before. Sleep. Sleep lightly. I slept 8 hours last night. I have not slept all night. Sling. And she slung the package over her back. And actually, I put images. Well, I guess she slung the package over her back. Yes, sling is actually a thing in this, but I guess you use a sling to sling rocks too. So that the sling on the right is probably the type of sling that they used in the military during Alexander the Great, and also it was used against the Philistines as well. And so this was called rock pelting, but he slung the rocks in the battle. And she has slung the bag over her shoulder. And the thing is a sling, but I'm trying to think I'll have to think of a better image for that. Don't spend too much money. But she didn't listen and she spent too much money. She has spent over her limit this week. Spin the ball. A good pitcher will spin the ball. We spun around on the Ferris wheel. The record has spun, or the yarn has spun. Stick. So stick a note on the wall. Someone has stuck an orange note on the wall. And that's past participle. And past tense is she stuck the note on the wall. Sting. So the bee has a stinger, so you don't want to mess with a bee because they might sting you. When I was young, I was stung by a bee once. And I have been stung maybe twice. I just remember one time. I think I may have been stung twice. But I guess I learned my lesson very good when I was young. Stink. Now, one thing that a skunk does is stink. Not all the time, but they can. And a skunk stinks very badly when they are scared. That skunk stunk really bad. And the outhouse has stunk all day long. Somebody needs to clean it. Sweep. People usually sweep the floor every day. She swept the kitchen floor. She has swept the floor all day this week. Swing. Children like to swing on a swing. She swung the stick and hit the zebra. She has swung at the ball 4 times and missed. Teach. Teach. The professor teaches calculus and trigonometry. The teacher taught us how to do calculus. The teacher has taught us before. Tell. She told her a secret. And she is telling her a secret, or she tells her many secrets. She has told her not to tell the secret. Think. Think about what you were doing. I thought this was a good class. I have thought about this many times. Weep. People weep when they are sad. She wept when her father passed away. She has never wept before. Win. If you work hard, you will win. It looks like someone won first place. I have won this award only one time. Wind. Now, when this word is used for wind, wind is what blows in the air. This is actually wind. And I guess you could kind of compare them to as a form of energy. And wind will wind the sail. So it is related. But that's probably how this word became wind as well. So, wind your clocks, or they might stop. So you wind the clocks. Wound, so wind your clock every day. Now the D is not silent, but it's barely touched. Wind your clock every day. Wind. But it doesn't hurt to pronounce it. She wound her watch. And you could use it for driving too. You could say, she wound around the curve. She has wound that watch 4 times a day and it's still not working properly. Wring. So wring is when you squeeze the water out of a sponge or something like that. So wring the water out of the sponge. She wrung the sponge and hung it on the clothing line. She has not wrung the sponge yet, and that's why it's full of water. Now we're going to go into a different one here. This is present tense is the same as past tense. And I think there's only one of them. We'll see. And past participle is not like the rest. So let's take a look here. So we have the beat here and beat the drums. The drums were beaten. So he beat the drums yesterday. So this is where the past tense and past participle, or the past tense and the present tense are the same, and the past participle is different. The drums were beaten very hard. So the Braves beat. So the football team, the Atlanta Falcons, beat the Washington Redskins yesterday, and I know they changed their name, but I can't remember what the new name is. And the Patriots were beaten by the New York by New York. Anyway, so there was only one, which is an odd thing. Now, this is where none of them are equal. None of them match. Arise. So rise is, the same as rise, but when we say arise, it's like saying rise up. So this is the word that's used in the phrasal, used with the same definition as the phrasal verb rise up. So arise. So arise and go make some breakfast. And it's kind of like saying just get up. So he arose from the dead. He has arisen. Awake. So awake, people should awake early. So usually they don't say, this is an older way of saying English. So we usually say just wake up early, but I'm trying to show the complete verbs. So we awake early to go to work. We awoke early yesterday. He has awakened. He has awaked already. Awaken. I think you used to with this. I'm gonna have to check, but he has awaked. I think there's multiple ways to deal with that one. Okay. So begin. He began work early. He has begun to produce more plants. Bite. So your dogs should be trained not to bite. Well, that's an infinitive, but don't bite the cookie. She bit the cookie. She has bitten a part of the cookie off. Blow. People like to blow dandelions. People blow dandelions a lot. He blew the dandelion. Several dandelions have been blown. So I think I went to, no I didn't. Okay. So, break. Break the coconut open. He broke the coconut open. The coconut has been broken. Choose the right t-shirt. She chose the right t-shirt. The right t-shirt has been chosen. Come in. They came in. They have come in already. Do nothing but relax. I did a lot of work yesterday. I have done my work for today. Draw a picture. She drew a picture. A picture has been drawn. Drink some water. I drank some coffee. I have drunk too many cups of coffee today. Drive the car until you get stuck in traffic. We drove in heavy traffic yesterday. I have not driven much this week, which is true, but more than usual, maybe 3 times this week. The cows eat the grass in the field. The cow ate a lot of grass yesterday. We have eaten breakfast already. Fall. The leaves fall on the ground during the fall. Several leaves fell on the ground. The leaves have fallen. All the leaves have fallen. There are no leaves on the tree. Fly. It's relaxing to watch birds fly through the air. Several birds flew by. I have flown on an airplane hundreds of times. Forget. Don't forget to wear a jacket. I forgot several things that were important. I have not forgotten the most important thing. Freeze. Ice freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level. When the lake froze, people began to play hockey. The lake has not frozen yet. I get packages every day. I got a package yesterday, and I have gotten a package every day this week. You should give flowers to somebody for kindness. I gave her some flowers yesterday. I have given her flowers every day this month. Go home early. Yesterday I went to work late. Since I started working from home, I have gone to work 9 times this month. The grass grows very tall. The grass grew too much. The grass has grown too much. We need to cut it. Animals are good at hiding in the forest. Well, cats like to hide, which it seems like it's all of them. The cougar hid in the grass. The big cat was hidden in the grass. You should know how to do this. The teacher knew a lot about history. We have known about this problem for several weeks now. Do you like to ride in a taxi, or would you prefer to ride a horse? So she rode the horse. The horse has been ridden a lot. We ring the front desk for service. The phone rang at the front desk. The phone has not rung all day. We need to check the connection. People run for exercise. She ran a race. She has run that race 3 times. See the animal looking at us. The animal saw a predator. The animal has not seen anything to scare it. Earthquakes shake the ground. When the ground shook because there was an earthquake. She was shaken because of the shocking event. And now show me the money, or show me how to do something. And he showed her how to change the oil in her car. The movie was shown at 4 o'clock. Sing a song. She sang wonderfully. She has never sung that song before. Sink. Always be prepared and never overconfident so you don't sink. The Titanic sank because they were overconfident and they were not prepared. Nothing has sunk in the recent months. Speak about the project. We spoke about irregular verbs. We have spoken about other subjects in the past. Swear. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. She swore that she was not lying. The person has been sworn in for testimony. Swell. So when women get pregnant, they swell a little bit. He hit his hand. His hand swelled because of the trauma. His hand was swollen because he was stung by a bee. Swim. You should swim as much as possible. I swam yesterday. I have swum twice this week. Take your time. Take your medicine. I took some medicine this morning. I have taken several photographs of my trips around Brazil. I took the train yesterday. Tear. You should not tear up your toys. The dog tore up the bear. The bear has been torn. Throw. Students throw their caps up after graduation. I threw some things out that were old. I have thrown a baseball many times. Wear what you want. People have to wear uniforms sometimes. I wore jeans and a t-shirt yesterday. I haven't worn a suit in a while. Write on the board. The student wrote on the board. Some people have written many books. Now this is where they all are equal. So everything's equal. And let's start looking at this here. So cost. Now you wonder how you could know when it's past tense, future tense, or I mean not past tense and past participle. So past participles, it's easy, but how do you know when it's past tense and present tense? It's pretty, because usually if I say the eggs cost $3, it depends on the subject. If you're talking about I'm gonna go to the store and buy some eggs. Somebody says, well, how much do they cost? They cost $3. But how much did they cost? They cost $3. And after I buy them, so I bought a shirt yesterday. And it cost $3. So and usually the price is not constantly changing either. So it's kind of the same. So it depends on the context. So you don't really need to it's not something that happens because it's just something that exists. It's not really an action verb either. But there are some action verbs that too. So cost. The eggs cost $5. What let's see. It has costed less before. It has cost less before. Cut. So this is another one, like after you cut something, it's cut. So I cut my finger. So if it's happening now, I would say I am cutting my finger, which something she is cutting the paper. So she cut the paper. So if I say she cut the paper, it has to be the past. Now, if I say she cuts the paper, with that S in there, it's third person. But I cut the paper. So if I say I cut the paper, it has to be past tense. Or I would say I cut the paper every day. So, we usually put that in there, but it's kind of depends on context. Hit the ball. He hit the ball. So if I say hit the ball, it's a command. So I'm saying hit the ball. He hit the ball. It could only be past tense because there's no S at the end. But if I say I hit the ball, it's still past tense because I would say I hit the ball every day, or I would say I am hitting the ball. I'm going to hit the ball. I have hit the ball. Very easy past participle. I have hit the ball. So I hurt my finger. My finger hurts. So their finger, or my fingers hurt. If I say my fingers hurt, you know that it's pain. But if I say I hurt my finger, I did something to hurt it. I have hurt my finger. Let it snow. So it's kind of a saying that they say during Christmas. I guess part of a song. But let the dog out. Let the cat out. He let the dog out. So if I say let the cat out, it's a command. Because it does not start with a subject. So command form. And he let the dog out. He lets the dog out every day. So we let the dog out every day. So if it's something that happens continually, we're going to add to it, get some time. But if I just say we let the dog out, that means the dog was let out earlier. We have let the dog out. Put the coffee on the table. She put the coffee on the table. So I put the coffee on the table. I have put the coffee on the table. So I put the trash out every day. I put the trash out. That means it's already been done. So it depends on context. That's the way we do it. Set the table. So that's a command. I set the table. That means it's already happened. I set the table every day. I have set the table. So if I say I set the table, I have set the table, it kind of means the same thing. Shut your eyes, command. I shut my eyes. That means it's already happened. I have shut my eyes. Spit. So spit fire. He is spitting fire, is what we'd say, like if he's doing it right now. He spits fire every day, or you could say that, but of course, if I say he'd spit fire, that means past tense. He has spit fire. She split her legs. So this is called the split. So when they do this, but she split her legs, past tense. She does the split. Well, that's not a verb. She has split her legs. So, and like a lot of people split their clothing when you sit down and your clothes split apart. So she split her pants when she was sitting and had to go home and change. So the eagle spreads its wings. So those eagles spread their wings. A peacock spreads its feathers. A peacock has spread its feathers. The peacock spread its feathers. Past tense. The eagle spread its wings. The hawk spread its wings. So has spread. And a command, spread the butter on the bread. And I guess that's it. So I thought it would be a little bit longer, but thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Like some of those verbs, we can talk about it and do further investigations on them. And this is just for pronunciation and improvement. Again, thank you for watching. Subscribe and like for more videos. And any questions, feel free to ask. Take care.